So now we'll discuss about variations of the Turing machine. So variations of Turing machine is nothing but the types of Turing machine. We're having totally 6 types of Turing machines. The first one is multi-tape Turing machine. Second one is multi-head Turing machine. Third one is two-way infinite tape. Fourth one is k-dimensional Turing machine. Fifth one is non-deterministic Turing machine. And sixth one is enumerator. So these 6 Turing machines have the same formal definition of general Turing machine, but in structure, the structure of Turing machine having variance. When it comes to normal Turing machine, it contains only one read-write head, one tape is there, okay, and so we have memory, external memory accessing is there. So the tape will move, either the head will move either left hand side or right hand side as you wish. Wherever you want, we can move. But that structure is modified by providing other additional resources. So based on the structure modifications, so we implemented these 6 Turing machines. First, we discuss about multi-tape Turing machine. So the name itself is saying that we are having multiple tapes. We are having multiple tapes. So, and here each tape is accessed with a separate head. So for every tape we have separate head link is there. So we can access every tape with a separate head. So generally, when it comes to this multi-tape, the input will be available on tape 1. The input is available on tape 1 and the remaining tapes will be blank. So whatever the input you are reading, it is available on tape 1 and the remaining tapes are blank. So why we are using remaining tapes? For faster accessing. So if you require any alterations or if you require any processing is there, so instead of using a single tape, we can utilize more than one tape. So based on this one, we can execution will more. The execution process will take very less time. So time will be reduced. So for example, so if I want to work with some language a to the power of n, b to the power of n, c to the power of n is there. So I want to process that language. So generally what we'll do, we'll push a and we'll change it to a will be changed to x, and then we'll find one more b, it will change it to some y, and then we'll found one z, it will change it to c, will change it to z. Again we find second a, second b, second c. So here what is happening is, so a's will be getting changed to x, b's will be getting changed to y, and c's will be getting changed to z. So every operation is doing on single tape. So if we perform with more than one tape, then it will be very easy to process and time also will take very less to execute that one. That is the advantage of multi-tape Turing machine. So every Turing machine is having same definition. So multi-tape is also having same definition, like Q, X, B, delta, Q naught, F, everything is same. So as per the Turing machine we are having, similarly it will be like that. So here we are going to design one multi-tape Turing machine which language contains a to the power of n, b to the power of n, and c to the power of n. So what we'll do, just we'll copy all the a's on tape 2, all the b's on tape 3, all the c's on tape 4. So earlier the same process is doing on single tape, but now I am utilizing totally 4 tapes. One first tape will be used for input. Whatever the input string I am using, or whatever the input string I am having, that I will use. The remaining 3 tapes I am using for different purposes. So why we require more tapes? If you have more tapes, then time will save, execution time will save. That is only the reason. So assume it I am having some a to the of n, b to the of n, means some 3 a's and 3 b's are there. So I want to work for this one. Simply I will do all a's will be here, all b's will be here. So I am copying all a's in tape 2 and all b's in tape 3. Similarly, in this example also. So for this example, I require total 4 tapes. The first tape will be used for input and second, third, fourth based on our situation. Here I am using first tape to copy all A's, second tape to copy all B's, and third tape to copy all C's. So and the thing is here what we are saying that, so we traverse from tape 2, tape 3 and tape 4 from right to left simultaneously and replace each symbol by blank. So I will travel from tape 1, I will take the input. So where it is available, if it is A, then I go with tape 2, like tape 3, like tape 4. Just will move right side by replacing that cell as a blank. So if the heads are traveling tape 2, tape 3 and tape 4 and we get B, all B's means all blank spaces, then we declare that it is accepting. If any tape contains still more input values, then we declare it is a rejected. So here we are designing multi-tape Turing machine for the given language, A to the power of n, B to the power of n and C to the power of n. So just simple what we discussed earlier, we are doing same. So it may contain A's, B's and C's. So here I am having 4 tapes. First tape is used to read the content, so input, and second, third, fourth will use based on for second one for A, third one for B and fourth one for C. So whatever the A operations are there, will use second one. So whatever the B operations are there, will use third one. Whatever the C operations we have, will use fourth one. So just it move right. So everything will make it as a blank. So if the given string is accepted, then we go with acceptance state. If not, we go with rejection state. So this is about multi-tape Turing machine. The next one is multi-head Turing machine. So multi-head Turing machine means we may having only one tape, but it's having multiple heads. It is having multiple heads. So the advantage of having multiple heads means reading will take very less time. So on a single tape, we'll read multiple items at a time. So in a single step, all the head senses scanned symbols and move or write independently. For example, if I am having A, B, C, so I need to number of A's, I need to read number of B's, I need to read number of C's. For this, I will use one head. For this, I will use one head. For this, I will use one head. So at a time, I can read 3 items A, B, C. Like that, A, B, C, A, B, C. If I read like that, then machine will be in accepted state. For example, some A square, B square, C square is the language. So it will perform just 2 operations. First operation, it will read A, B, C. For second operation also, it will read A, B, C. So third operation, if it read blank spaces, then we say that accepted. If it not reading blank spaces, some head is containing some other variable like A or B or C, then it will be rejected. So it is about multi-head Turing machine. So just here what we did, we have more than one head. Earlier we have more than one tape. Next, two-way infinite tape. So generally the tape will be available on single way. So it will be like this. it will be like this. But there is a possibility to get two-way infinite loop, means both sides it is open, both sides it is open. So whether if you want to read from left hand side, you can read it. If you want to read with from right hand side, we can read like that. So this is about two-way infinite loop. So it is similar to standard Turing machine. So we don't have any advantage this one. Why? Because so even if you are having normal Turing machine, also possibility to take right hand element or left hand element. So here also we can do, and normal also we can do. Next, k dimensional Turing machine. Generally, so the tape will having only one dimensional. So here we can get k dimensional. So means it contains k tracks, and for these k tracks we can perform reading and writing simultaneously. Okay, so assume it, these are the tapes. So every tape we have, so with the dimensions I mentioned, like 1 minus 1, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, like that. So it is based on our situation we can define. Based on our situation we can define. So in very rare cases, we are using k dimensional Turing machine. So k dimensional Turing machine is nothing but just we are representing tape in multiple dimensions, like a matrix representation. Next, non-deterministic Turing machine. So non-deterministic Turing machine is nothing but it is like Turing machine only, but there is a possibility to get more than one transition for a given simple single input, unique input. So if I read from tape, if I read the element as A, symbol A, so then there is a possibility to go either to next state or to keep here only. Means for input A, we may found more than one transition function. For input A, we can find more than one transition function. So that is called non-deterministic Turing machine. In previous classes, already we discussed non-deterministic Turing machine, and we got one example also. Next, enumerator. So enumerator is a Turing machine that lists possibly with repetitions and elements of some set S, which is set to enumerate. So it may found the list of repeated data. So here we may get two states, Q print and Q reject. So every enumerator Turing machine is having two tapes. So one working tape and another one is print tape. So working tape is nothing but to perform the read operations. Print tape is nothing but here especially used to print the data. Enumerator Turing machine is used for printing data. So second tape will work for taking printout. And as usual, general enumerator Turing machine also is defined as usual general Turing machine with 7 tuples. So enumerator Turing machine is especially works for printing the data, and here it may go for repetitions. Some set of elements will be repeated. And enumerator Turing machine is having two tapes. So one tape for working process, another tape for printing. Okay, so this is about variations on Turing machine. Okay, thank you.